every day is another crazy day. Dealing with the sober living houses, not necessarily chasing guys down, but having to find guys who, for whatever reason, feel it necessary to go get loaded again, right? And to throw their lives away. And, the hard part is watching the innocent get hurt, right? One guy today decided to do that, and he has a baby on the way, right? And now the mom really wants nothing to do with him, and I told him it's gonna be a journey for you to get your kid back, bro, or to even have your kid in your life, right? And yeah, you could make all these arguments, oh, he has legal ramifications, whatever, right? But we're talking beyond that, right? We're talking real genuine relationship with people, right? And the damage that this disease does to our families, right? Who in some ways don't deserve the treatment they get from us when we make very selfish, self-centered decisions. And and that really goes with the topic that today that I posted, right? Do you trust or do you believe in yourself, right? Do you believe in you, right? Do you believe? And I'm not talking about worship, right? I'm not talking about oh, I'm God. No, I'm talking about do you believe that you're going to do the right thing? Can you trust yourself, right? That at the end of the day, when push comes to shove, you're going to do exactly what is necessary in order for you to get where you got to go. I think it's hard sometimes to realize most people probably don't, right? I was having a conversation with a guy yesterday, and I was asking him do you do the best that you can do every single time? And he's like, no, I don't think I've ever done the best that I can. And I'm like, well, then how do you hold other people accountable that they're not doing the best that they can if you don't ever do the best that you can, right? How do I hold you to a standard that I'm not willing to live myself? Or I can't even live myself for whatever reason, right? I can find all kinds of excuses why I can't follow through with the things that I say, right? Oh, too much pressure. Oh, I didn't have enough time, or oh, I was too busy, or whatever, right? I can find all kinds of reasons why the things that I need to do, I don't do. And the reality is because I don't take care of me, right? If I took care of me, everybody would get the best version of me, right? That's just the way it works, right? Because at the end of the day, right, what this whole thing has been about is becoming the best version of myself, becoming the person that I needed in my life for somebody else, right? I need to become the man that I needed growing up, and that I needed as a young adult, and that I need today, right? I need people to surround me, to walk with me, to teach me the things that I don't know how to do. And the hope is that I become the man that I needed, right? And the reality is I need somebody who gives me their word that I can trust, right? That I can believe in, that when they say something, I know it's going to happen. I know it's going to be done because they told me it would be, right? And for the biggest thing is, what does your word mean to you, right? Do you just give your word, oh, I swear, I promise, it's fleeting, it doesn't even matter? Or does what you say and what you represent matter to you? Because for a long time, it didn't matter to me. I'd tell people all kinds of stuff. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll be there, whatever. I'll pray for you, right? That's the biggest one, right? I'll pray for you. And how many times did I actually even really pray for somebody, right? Just keeping it honest, right? But the reality is today, I want my word to mean something. Why? Because I want to be able to believe in me. I do believe in me in the sense that anything that's put in front of me, I'm gonna accomplish it, right? And more so, it's because I'm competitive, and in some form and fashion, I still have ego and some cockiness in me, because I want to be able to walk with a certain swagger, because there's things that I can do that most people can't, right? Fasting for 40 days, right? I want to be able to have that to say I did it. So I believe in me that the things that get put in front of me, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to accomplish it. But there are those moments where like I think something is insignificant. Not that the task doesn't need to happen, but that the me not accomplishing it really doesn't have any ill effect on me, right? In my mind, right? Because the literature says that we are experts at self-deception, right? So in my mind, I will say that for me not to do this is okay, and everybody else will be fine with it too. But the reality is that people pay attention to those things, right? They pay attention to how often I'm letting them down, right? How often I'm saying that I'm going to do something that I'm really not going to do. And after a while, my word doesn't mean anything, even though in my mind, I'm telling myself, well, I accomplished most of the stuff that I say, but I'm not accomplishing all of it. And usually when I think it's insignificant, it matters to somebody else, right? Like what I need to do matters to them, but because it doesn't matter to me, it's insignificant. And so after a while, people just get tired of hearing that I'm gonna do something that they know I'm not gonna do. They know I'm not, because I'm not a trustworthy person. So when I ask the question, like, can I trust in me, right? Can I believe in me that I'm gonna do what I need to do? Am I gonna do it? Is it gonna get accomplished? And today I wanna say yes. Like, I'm gonna do what I tell you. I'm gonna do what I say, no matter what, right? Because it's important, not only to me, but to the people around me. Like I've told you guys a few times, maybe only one time on here, when I die, I only want my family to say one thing, just one thing, right? That was the baddest MFer to walk the earth. Because whatever he said he was gonna do, he did it. That's what I want him to say. I don't want him to say, well, most of the time he did what he was gonna say, or he did what he would say, right? Or sometimes. No, I want them to say every time. And I get it, right? There's some things that I didn't do that I can't get back. But what I can do is start moving from today, making sure that everything I say I'm gonna do, because I want you to trust me as much as I trust me, right? And when the game's on the line, I want the ball in my hand. I don't wanna put the ball in somebody else's hand. I wanna put it in my hand. I wanna have the last chance to make something happen. But if I don't believe in me because I'm not trustworthy and I don't do what I say, then the ball won't get put in my hand, because if I can't trust you, then nobody else can trust me. You know, and so it's just one of those questions that I had to ask, right? And that, because when I asked the question, the questions are for me, right? And I'm glad that there are some people who engage in, it's crazy because I've noticed there's a few people who don't normally get vulnerable. That this was one question they were willing to get a little bit more vulnerable than normal, right? Which is great. Like that, I mean, that's the whole essence of what we're trying to do here, right? Like my dream, my hope is that as I become more vulnerable in telling you the things that I think about and the ways that I feel and the emotions that I experience, that you will too. That you will find safety for you to become vulnerable too, right? And stop living, right? Because I do this, living in the imagination of what I think I am rather than what I really am. The greatest value I can have is in being myself. That's it. That's all I have. Is my true value is in being me, not being something that I want to imagine, not being something that I conjure up in my mind because I need it for survival. I don't need it for survival today. What I want is true freedom from all the limitations that I set for myself, for all the stupid thinking that I have about what a man is or what he's supposed to do and all that, right? No, like if I don't believe that a man does certain things, then I'm not going to do it because I don't believe a man does it, right? But that's my prerogative to have that understanding that that's what I believe, because at the end of the day, I have to be comfortable with myself. I tell my guys, we live with no regrets, none, zero regrets, right? And so there's the process that I have to go through, that I have to think about every decision I'm getting ready to make, because I have to be comfortable and okay with the consequences that come my way. Like, I can't say, oh, I didn't expect that. Oh, I was surprised. No, then I need to do more thinking. I need to have a better process in how I think through the situation that I'm getting ready to endure. Because if I do something that costs me my marriage, right, or costs me my kids, I'm the one responsible for that, not them. It's not their fault they left. It's my fault I screwed up because I didn't accept responsibility for whatever was coming my way. And that's not okay today, right? I've blamed people, places, and things all my life for why my life was going the way it is. Not today. That is not the case today. Today, I'm accepting responsibility because I'm the one who ultimately has the final say in everything that I do. Everything, because I'm responsible for my recovery. I may not be responsible for my addiction. I may not be responsible for the things that have happened to me, but I am responsible for the way I respond to every single one of them and what I do as a result of it. So, I don't know if anybody's told you today, but I hope you know that God loves you, and so do I. I just want to tell you, God bless you and have a great night.